today to Cindy's library, and today I am starting with I'm going to talk about Studio Ghibli films because I just love those. So I have most of them, and how I'm ever going to rank these, I have no idea. But let us get started. Now these I'm going to do in alphabetical order since it's easiest to start that way. First, Castle in the Sky. Story about a boy who one day finds a girl floating down from the sky. And yes, there is an actual castle in the sky that everyone is looking for and wants, and the girl is connected to that. And that is why people are so interested in her. It's a bit unusual, perhaps, but it's still a wonderful story. Let's see. Next, we have The Cat Returns, which is so fun. The girl saves the cat and gets swept off into the world of cats as part of the thank you for saving the cat, who happens to have been the son of the Cat King. And the Baron, a cat figurine, helps. Might not be Ghibli's best work, but it is still so fun. So fun. Next, from Up on Poppy Hill, this is 1963 Yokohama high school students. So there's young love, there's a whole high school scene. Get a look at what Yokohama was like back in 1963. There is a weird bit, I have to admit that. But it's still very sweet in many ways. Howl's Moving Castle, one of my favorites. And yes, I know they changed the story a bit from the book, but I still love it. And I guess I should say, for Howl's Moving Castle, it is about a young lady who's turned into an old woman, and thus she starts out to seek her fortune, leaving home for the first time, and ends up at Howl's Moving Castle. Well, they can't say anything more than that, but very fun. Kikis delivery service. When witches are, I think, 12, they're expected to go for a year to a new city and set up business there. So that's what Kiki does. She is a witch. Her only talent seems to be flying, so she sets up a delivery service. Very, very fun about growing up, about learning to stand on your own, about going into new situations. Mary and the Witch's Flower. Now I'll admit this is Ghibli adjacent, but many Ghibli people worked on this. This is about Mary. She's an ordinary girl stuck with, I think, a great aunt for the summer or some such thing. She discovers this flower that gives her magical powers and takes her to a magical school. But all is not as it appears to be. See next. Oh yes, My Neighbor Totoro. This is about two sisters, and uh, not sure if they moved or if they're just at the new place for a while, since it's closer to where their mother's in the hospital. But yeah, two little girls, one slightly older, one definitely younger. This movie has a lot of the classic Ghibli uh, images that you may be familiar with, including Totoro himself, became Ghibli's mascot, I guess you could say. And the two girls, well, the place where they're staying is in a wood, and they meet friendly monsters there. just about the life of little girls, I guess you could say. Nausicaa, the Valley of the Wind. Technically not Ghibli, but since Hayao Miyazaki, one of Ghibli's founders, did this not too long before, definitely uh, often considered part of Ghibli, and that's just amazing. You've got a princess who is a scientist and a warrior and also has a very caring heart trying to protect her people in a post-apocalyptic world. Uh, Messages about war, messages about environmentalism. It's just a good story. Nausicaa is a great role model for any girl. Ponyo, a retelling sort of A Little Mermaid. A little boy one day during a huge storm sees a little girl running on top of the water. Turns out this little girl is a magical being, kind of a fish, but she wants to be a human. Okay, next, Porco Rosso. I think it's the 1930s in the Mediterranean area. I think we even go to Italy for a bit, but a lot of it is on islands. Porco Rosso, he is, I think that's his nickname. Anyway, he was a World War One flying ace, but it's a little bit vague on this. But he was the only survivor from his squadron. I guess being a coward or I don't know what. Anyway, he was turned into a human pig. And it's his adventures. Princess Mononoke. Now this one is ancient Japan, lots of folklore, environmental messages again, messages about war. You have the young prince of a remote village who comes under a curse, and so he has to leave his village and search for the reason behind the curse and hopefully find a cure. And as he does so, he indeed discovers many things, including this town that is causing a lot of problems for the forest spirits. The forest spirits are rather unmerciful, so no easy answers here. This one is PG-13 and it does earn it, although it's rather tame compared to some things, but definitely not compared to the rest of Ghibli, so keep that in mind. Secret World of Ariat. It's been a while since I've seen this one, but the premise is definitely cute. You've got normal boy who meets a tiny girl, and they become friends. Oh, wonderful. Tale of Princess Kaguya. A bit different. This is based on a Japanese folk tale, and the style shifts, but a lot of it is Japanese paintbrush style. Amazingly beautiful and heartbreaking. When Marnie was there. Girl who is going through issues. Whisper of the Heart. Another one of my favorites. I think this is a junior high story. But yep, young love has young people and how to accomplish that. Bit of high school life, and we get to meet the Baron, and he is a great character, cat figurine, and how complicated that can be. especially if you're in Japan in the 1930s. So, those are all the Ghibli movies I have. The other one, seen, well, that one doesn't really count since it was Caligula, something like that, a Lupin the Third movie. And so that's another reason why it doesn't quite count. That's the other one I have seen, which I don't have because I don't think I'll ever be able to bear to watch it again, is Grave of the Fireflies, about some well, a little girl and her older brother trying to survive in World War II Japan. It's absolutely heartbreaking. If you do want to watch it, bring plenty of tissues. That's all I can say. Oh, but how to rank these? That is a hard one, especially since some of these I haven't seen for a while. So maybe I will stick with my three favorites, because I definitely know what those are. And oh, Whisper of the Heart and Howl's Moving Castles. Those are my three favorites of all that I have seen of Studio Ghibli. Definitely not for young children. My Neighbor Totoro and Ponyo, best for young children. Castle in the Sky, Kikis Delivery Service, uh, slightly older children. And I would say Princess Kaguya probably be appreciated for middle children. That is a wonderful one as well. Lots of places where you can enter into Studio Ghibli. It does depend a bit about what your audience is and about what you're interested in. Plenty of uh, fantasy, fantastical stories. A few that are a bit more realistic, like From Up on Poppy Hill, Whisper of the Heart, or The Wind Rises. But lots of good choices. Spirited Away might actually be a good place to, because it is truly so well done. Lots of, it definitely feels. I'd love to hear in the comments what your favorite Studio Ghibli film is. So, thank you so much for stopping by today. Until next time, I hope we all stay safe and healthy. And as always, happy reading!